facing Black Leopards with the back-to-back wins against TP Mazembe. What does it mean and how does it affect the players going to the next match?
Well, of course, we have to be in touch with reality, and being in touch with reality means trying to put yourself in a position of understanding from a psychological perspective where the players are. Huge compliment to the players for the current space that we find ourselves in. To appreciate a lot of the hard work, to appreciate the players adopting life principles and infusing a soul into the game, because that's very important. And when we speak of life principles, you speak about brotherhood, selflessness and honesty. And they've been extremely honest with regards to their performances, and this has led to the consistency that we find ourselves currently enjoying. And of course, no championship has ever been won in March. No league title, no CAF Champions League title has ever been won in March. And there's still, in a humble way, a lot of work to improve and a lot of things to work on in relation to our schemes, both defensively and offensively, and we are just knuckling down and extremely humble to appreciate the small milestones, because for you to receive and be blessed with even bigger milestones, you've got to appreciate the small milestones. This is a biblical principle, and while we're appreciating the small milestones, we then galvanize ourselves for even bigger challenges that lie ahead of us, because we know that our April is going to be 9 games in 1 month, and May is going to be really in that moment where everything is going to be decided, and it's called the business end for a specific reason. And we've just got to continue with the right sort of mindset. But of course, like I said, a huge compliment to the players. And it's an indication that when you work not just with top football players, but top football players who are good human beings, you are bound to achieve certain milestones. Yeah, Peter Shalulile, we're going to this game without him, and then that means we've got to, in a certain way, change a little bit of our schemes, because Peter is such an integral part of not just our offensive schemes, but also our defensive schemes. So we've got to adopt a little bit and adjust the way we want to go against Black Leopards, and it will be interesting to see how we deal with the build-up triangle of Masia, Tetwa and Jima. In relation to how we've always dealt with it when we have Peter, it's going to be completely different this time. But as you know, that in a team such as ours, we have enough quality. We don't even speak about players that we miss. We present opportunities to everybody, and that's why we have the quality and the depth. We don't just have depth; we have quality and the depth, and it's not just about the quantity; it's about the quality, and the opportunity will then be afforded to somebody else. And like they've done throughout the season, you've seen when Hesh has had an opportunity, he's taken it. When Lisedi Kapinga has had an opportunity, he's taken it. We have so many offensive possibilities. Afonso is now slowly coming back. Gift Mutupa is training well, and he's an option. Vilagazi is an option and doing exceptional well, and you still have Keletso, the young one with energy and a lot of movements to provide depth and stretch a little bit the compactness of the opposition. We have a lot of possibilities, and let's see what we come up with for the weekend. Well, the biggest threat that they pose is in relation to how we will go into the match, because if we base our analysis on the log position, we will be greatly mistaken, because the profile of the team, the way they perform and play, the quality of the players that they have, is not a direct reflection of where they find themselves on the log, is not a direct reflection of the current run they are in. And of course, being on 4 back-to-back defeats is very, very difficult from a psychological perspective. But that doesn't take away the importance of making sure that we do the right sort of profiling and the right sort of psychological preparation, because when you look at the team that they have, they've got King Dlove in goal, who can easily play for any of the top teams in the country. They've got Jima Masia, who can easily play for any of the top teams in the country. They've got Tsiamo at left back. They've got Tebza at right back. Both can still play for any top team in the country. And then they've got a midfield that is got players with a lot of potential. Mtetwa is a 6, aggressive, screens very well, has very good ball usage, and allows the team to develop the attack from the back. They've got enough quality in the midfield with Wiseman, Malulega, Ustumo, Hlongwane. They've got Donald, Makhetla. They've got a lot of possibilities to be able to use different. They've got the Nigerian also in the midfield from JDR Stars, quick, strong. He played very well against TTM in the cup. They gave a very, very good performance. And then of course up front it could easily be a Ramagalela and an Anas, or a Karuru and an Anas, or an Anas and Kabwe. They've also got they are spoiled for choices, and any of those front 5 players that I've just spoken about can also easily play for any of the top teams in the country. So we've got to make sure that we give them the respect that they deserve. We approach the game in a very humble way, but not overly respect the possibility of saying, of course, we're the bigger club, and the bigger club, we have a responsibility to win the match. But also, in a way, we've got a responsibility to play the Sundowns way and win the match. And so the stakes are extremely high. And we want to make sure that we go there understanding from that perspective. And of course, even the profile of the coach is very, very good on making sure that the players are motivated and driven with a fearlessness sort of attitude. So we know what's at stake from a tactical perspective. How they press from the top, how they reorganize themselves in zone 2, how they reorganize themselves in a deeper block, and then also how they look to play with a lot of aggressive overlapping movements from the fullbacks, and a very narrow attack that creates overloads in the midfield. So we have to look and see how we answer that, but at the same time impose our tactical culture, game principles onto the match over the 90 minutes.